Hello and welcome to the behind the scenes of our third Rube Goldberg, the how to build a snowman one. So we're going to go through how it works and show that it runs in a single run, that we don't need to cut it and things like that. So hopefully it works this time. And open chest.
Right.
So first, that's the trapped chest that activates the cart here. So the cart is spawned from the cart dispenser, and then just goes around like this, and yeah,
Crazy loop.
yeah, exactly. But then when it reaches this point here, it's just going to go and die, but also activate this redstone, which will spawn these 5 other gift cards like this, and they will be shot over here and will stack up like this. When we have all 5, they will explode because they hit each other weirdly and spawn a boat.
Right, now we have that boat going underwater using these sponges. And it comes up here and breaks, and then a vacuum test sucks that up. And we dispense 6 iron into the rolling machine, and we use the wood into the Stirling engine to basically power that and create some rails. That we're then gonna, well, it takes a little moment because obviously, like, we gotta build up some power.
And
But anyway, once those are done, yeah, they get dispensed into this cargo manager, and then the cart will take them and use them into, make actual tracks and place them down in front of itself so it can go. Across the other side. Is this almost done?
Yeah,
there we go. Right, so that's just going to go into this Steve's cart's cart, and then they'll cross this little gap here.
Yeah.
Over to this fancy construction here, and once it's crossed, Steve's factory manager will break the tracks behind it, like that.
Yeah, and now it's at this ferry, so we activate it from over here, and then we have logic all over here that actually controls it. It's not much, it's just a few transmitters and a few receivers with a few latches and stuff that makes it go forward now. And then when it reaches the end, it will stop and send out the cart. And that is done by using this redstone here, which will be going towards this transmitter, which sends a signal to the control unit there. That stops it, sends it away, and then after a while it controls it in the other direction, and then uses this redstone on the other side to stop it once again there. And the whole thing here is using pushers and frame pushers and frame sliders. They're called sliders, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
With frames. Exactly, to move this around like this, and it works perfectly fine underwater, even though it looks a bit odd. And then we just have this 3x3 on top here that is the actual ferry that you can see, but you have, of course, the logic there. And now the card goes away and activates this thing here, and here we have the elevator that works sort of the same thing. It's not as advanced because we can just push it upwards. The other one actually has to be able to move freely. This one is actually just designed so it can move this distance. As you can see, the ferry is actually moving back, and the cart will be activated by an invisible block here and then sent forward like so, and the elevator goes down again.
Right, and then we have this drawbridge that pulls the trackway under the cart, so it falls into the quicksand, and that's just going to slowly fall through onto the other side. And then we have the drawbridge obviously extends again, and then once the cart is down below,
can we go down here?
Yeah, well, we can jump down here, like right here. Once it falls through, it'll basically like activate this and then use this ender rail to teleport back to where it started.
Yeah, so we can use it again.
Yeah, so we can, because the whole thing resets itself obviously, so it can be run multiple times without any like interference from us. But then the wireless redstone is going to activate this, which is going to shoot out a cart. You might not want to be in the way once that happens.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then that just shoots out and lands down over here.
Yeah. And this is just a weird repeater that, yeah, a lot of latches that does things, and then they activate this computer that sends out this drone like this, and it's actually damaged a bit. But yeah, it's programmed to just follow these blue, well, not follow them, but its next target is on top of the next blue wool like that, and that's going to move it all the way here, over here, and then to this farm where it's going to just destroy all the crops. We haven't told it to pick it up, but yeah. We just destroy it, and then it moves it back to the beginning and waits for another redstone signal at the computer.
Right, and then we have these 2 golems. One of them picks up all the seeds and basically void chests them, and the other one picks up all the wheat and puts them in this chest, so we get 24 wheat at the end of it. And then again, with Funcular Combustion, we've set up this whole thing that basically moves the chest around. So we just have like the logic here with Steve's Factory Manager. We just have a bunch of these wireless redstone transmitters, and that in turn, just in the correct order, like extends all of these arms in the right direction.
And in the correct order, of course.
Well, yeah, in the correct order. And then that just sort of moves the chest a little bit around and moves up and then left and then down and then right and then again. At the end of the whole thing, it's basically going to land over here on top of this hopper.
Yeah.
It takes a little while, but
yeah. And then it moves down there.
But yeah. And then obviously once that's done, like once the chest is made it back here, it'll wait for a few seconds and then the whole thing moves backwards again.
Yeah.
To place the chest where it came from.
Yeah, like we mentioned, the whole machine is resettable. So once it's done, you can start it again right away, and it's going to work because every mechanic, well, every part of the machine, it might take a while to reset itself, but due to the fact that the other parts are running, once the whole machine is finished, you can just start it again. So they will reset themselves after a while, but quick enough to be able to run again once it's their turn again. And there you go, now it's the final part, right? And then once the chest arrives here, we're just going to move them out with a hopper, which is going to take a while. 24 wheat takes a few seconds. And this will, comparator will go on when we have the wheat through the hopper, but once we don't have it anymore, then we get a signal back, which will fire this air cannon like that, and the wheat actually lands over. That's fire. Oh, there you go. It takes a while to fly, and it flies through on the belts and follows the belts here, and follows the item routers like that. And here we have the mana pool, so we're going to convert the wheat into potatoes, and that into carrot, and that into melon seeds, and then that into pumpkin seeds. We use Seeds Factory Manager here to make sure that the things we want to convert are still there, but the things we don't want to convert are picked up and moved out, like so.
Alright, now we just move it a little bit around over to this factorization servo, like we did last time. And that's just going to pick up all the seeds, and then it runs down this line of autonomous activators and drops one seed in each of them.
Yeah.
And then once it makes it to the end of the line, it triggers redstone that lets all of them place down their seeds. So we just get one long row of melon seeds, like that.
Yep.
And then those are just made grow by some watering cans hidden below. Alright, and then once one of them goes into a pumpkin, it takes a little while, but you know, it's a random tick thing. Once one of them goes into a pumpkin, basically any pumpkins will be picked up by these terrain smashers, and then they will get filtered through these chests into the Buildcraft pipes and all over here towards the center, where any seeds make it into the void transport pipe, and then any pumpkin will basically trigger this wireless transmitter that floods the whole thing with water. So we just reset the whole thing again. As you'll see there's one pumpkin over here.
Where was it?
Came out right here.
Oh, there. Okay. Yeah.
Or there.
Yeah.
Right. So that's gonna make it over here. That's gonna reset the whole thing, and then it also makes it over here, where basically the first pumpkin is allowed to pass through to the left. But then that triggers this latch, which basically means that any other pumpkin coming through also gets void piped. So that way we ensure that we only get one pumpkin, and any other pumpkins just go away.
Yeah. And this latch is reset once the server starts, right?
Right, so on the next round, click and reset, as you can see there.
And now we have a pumpkin here, which is going to be picked up by that chest cart here, powered by the electric locomotive. And that makes this ticket station, whatever it's called, routing track, to actually get powered. And therefore we change the destination to switcheroo 1, which makes you go forward here, up there, left there, and into this switcheroo place here. And we have station 1 and station 2, and therefore that one is going to go active and change that to snow, which makes it go back like this, and then in this direction right here. Here's going to activate the next part and just wait there.
Right, and then once it makes it over here, it triggers another one of these drones. It's going to destroy the whole cactus farm. And then once that's destroyed, it also picks up all the cactus and drops it off in a crystal chest here, which then with Steve's Factory Manager makes us a free bucket. We're going to need the bucket. Is it an empty bucket or a bucket of water?
We use the empty bucket for an empty bucket.
Right.
For bucket
okay.
water.
Yeah, so it's the empty bucket, and the basically the cactus the cactus makes cactus juice, and the empty bucket and the cactus juice makes us a bucket of water. through these Ender IO crafters. And then that bucket of water, we put into the fluid transposer, so we get just the liquid. That gets poured into the glacial precipitator, which makes snow blocks out of that.
Yeah.
And then those 2 snow blocks get put in the air cannon, and it shoots our 2 snow blocks over to this hungry chest, getting our little train here not only the pumpkin that has from before, but also 2 blocks of snow. Like that, and then that'll do the same thing with the ticket. It'll set its ticket to switch route number 2, and it'll go back.
Yeah, so it will just take the same path back as it came, and take some useless turns here. But the important part is that in some turns it will actually control it back to this area here. But like we said, now it's switch route 2, which will activate this part rather than that part. So it won't go back to snow, but it will go to a drop off instead. It will go down here, but due to the fact that it's not going to switcheroo anymore, it will go right here instead, and it will go all the way up here, where it will drop off all its items. So the pumpkin and the 2 blocks of snow.
Right, and during these pipes here, the pumpkin will be transferred into the top block placer, and the 2 blocks of snow using these Buildcraft pipes get segregated into like 2 different. So we have that, and then we create a snowman using those. Then we spawn a cart, which picks up the snowman, and it goes down this track here, and shoots back over to our start island. And then obviously the snowman gets pulled off, and the cart actually makes it into this cart dispenser and gets void chested. So we're just left with a single snowman.
Yeah, and there we go. So now from activating the chest, we got the snowman, and now if you activate the chest again, everything's reset. So it will just run. And
yeah, we should just be able to make another snowman.
Yeah, exactly. It might not be the most efficient way, but it's a Rube Goldberg. So that's that. Thank you all for watching, and we hope you liked it. Bye-bye.
Bye.